On to fives.
Is it back in my court?
Back in your court, we have the investigator, the observer, the analyst, the need to perceive or understand, and core motivational themes that center around competence and knowledge.
Okay.
What do you think? What do you like?
I'm going to do this a little backwards. I'm going to add my own because I still have my negative thinking cap on.
Ooh, okay.
I'm going to add this one. I'm going to add the autist.
Oh, God.
Short for, person with autism. And hey, it's 2023. That term's being thrown around.
Okay.
Get used to it. I say it with love. But if I had to pick from
You're going to have to convince me and explain that one to me.
Oh God, I think it's pretty self-explanatory. Just ask a 5 about anything they're interested in, and you're gonna get a dose of autism. Like, just endless facts, endless like context for those facts, and someone's just gonna be. And it has inside the world of a 5, it's very vibrant, but like to the person it is being explained to, it feels very dry a lot of times. Mm-hmm. Do you buy it? Do you buy my term now, or is it you still not on board?
I buy your rationale, but I'm worried that this podcast is never going to get sponsored. No.
Okay, we can bleep that out. Whatever.
Maybe we can call it the stamp collector or something.
The train enthusiast. We'll call it the train enthusiast.
The penny hoarder. I don't know.
Okay, but of the ones you have given me, I think the observer is the best one, and that's again because I think it feels neutral at the start, but if you look, I think it has built into the name a positive and a negative. And I think the positive is, I think when I hear observer, maybe this is just me, but I think of someone who is, there's some level of objectivity that comes to mind when I think of someone just observing. They're not partaking, they're not getting their hands dirty, they're not interfering with what's going on. There's kind of like a distance, and I think that can be a really powerful gift. But on the same token, it also implies that the observer is in the stands. They're in the audience. They're not partaking in the activity.
Not involved.
They are people who are super smart, have great insight, observations, but they don't. I almost feel like there seems like a lack of full. There's like wasted potential that I almost want to see in 5s because they observe so much and they don't.
I like that.
They don't move into the action center. And they could go, their whole lives and know all this knowledge, have all like these facts, super smart people, super knowledgeable, super competent. But I'm like, what did you do with it, bro? Like you're this old, knowledgeable person. And it kind of hurts a little bit to see someone who maybe they could have changed the world with all their knowledge and they just were content to observe from a distance.
Nice. I also like the observer. I wasn't necessarily going to go where you went with it, but that's why I'm glad we're doing this because I like everything you said there. To add also to what I like about the observer, and maybe it does actually. We'll find a way to mend our two rationales here a bit. So let's go down that train. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
train. A train enthusiast. My ears perked up. I'm like, train.
Yeah. So
I mean, we both have ties to this number, so we say it with love.
All right.
All right.
So I like the observer because it has the opportunity to me to bring it a little deeper into the 5 essence than the other names like investigator or analyst.
Which I think are both okay. I think they're okay.
They're okay,
yeah.
But they're a little more specific, and I don't think, here's what I mean by that. Almost as a first strategy of 5, you have this taking a step back and observing. Mm-hmm. And one place that can go is a more intense cerebral, I'm going from observing to analyzing and investigating and fully putting my mental
There's more of an intensity in those
into
words,
it.
Right?
Yeah. And that's one place you can go from observation to that. But observation can also just step back even further and detach more and be that pure kind of witnessing energy, which I think if we're going to talk about some of what 5 brings to the table in essence or in like the best part, if we take that observation, it's more easily to take that tie in with certain spiritual principles, Buddhist ideas of being the witness or being aware of awareness.
Oh yeah, there's heavy 5 energy in Buddhism, I think.
Yeah, so the idea that what 5 offers as the observer is that a non-attached witness vibe, I think is good to convey about 5 if you can. And perhaps you could say on the downside to some of the things you said about 5, that 5s can become attached to the detachment component of non-attachment. If we think of
it's a good like that makes perfect sense to me, but I can see someone being like, what?
So if we think of non-attachment as like non-attachment as detachment and compassion, 5s get that stepping back, detached, non-observation, but then there's that fear of being overwhelmed that stops them from the compassion that could arise and the action that could arise out of taking that step back.
Yeah, like it's too, like, as I've learned more about the Enneagram, there's some like vibes have become more of the way I relate to it. So I see the 5 energy when you're talking about like it's either afraid or it doesn't want to get his or her hands dirty. It's like it almost feels like it's too hot. It's like it's too hot in the kitchen for 5s to actually go do some work and to get involved.
Yeah.
So I just derailed your train, started using another train metaphor, but what I had to
That was
get it out.
mostly it, but okay, so 5s get the detachment, they don't get the compassion, or even in more principles. I know we both read David Deida at a certain time and talking about masculine essence being the pure consciousness, and like that's 5s too, but so they get Shiva, but they don't get Shakti, the heart, the compassion, the energy,
the power, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The getting the hands dirty metaphor that you use. So again, to me, observer makes it easy to talk about these much deeper principles. It's a better word to start exploring that kind of territory that we've just gone down, and just analyst is a little more one-dimensional.
I agree.
So I like observer for that. All right.